Nityanandam, and welcome back. I hope you've seen some of the other videos. Today, I was hoping to talk about a topic that's actually near and dear to my heart. A little bit about me: I grew up in India, and then I went to the US to do my master's, lived there for 10 years, had a great life there. And then I was in Singapore for the last 8 years, and only recently moved back to India and, of course, joined Swamiji Paramsa Nityananda's mission as a full-time, what you call Adinavasi, where I'm residing here in his main campus. Now, one of the things that comes up is people a lot of times ask, how do you find this life versus what it was like with all the different, material comforts that are there in the US or even in Singapore, which is a very modern day country and city in that sense, right? Very much of part of the first world. Reminds me of one of Swamiji's satsang where he talked about always choose right over what's pleasant. Now, I'll give you the context to this, right? In the US, when I lived, everything is geared towards giving us the best experiences from our senses, from our sensory perception perspective, be it in terms of things that look pretty or smell good or feel good. All that really appealing to our five senses. Now you walk into a Starbucks, you can get that smell which is universal across Starbucks, across the world. You walk into a really nice apartment store. The look and feel, the lighting, the way people are dressed, everything is there to appeal to our senses. But that doesn't necessarily make it right for us or make it even the absolute right for us. I'll give you an example. The clothes that we wear at the Adinam are where the men wear this yoga vastram, where it's a little heavier on the left hand side and it's bare on my right shoulder. You can see that, right? Now, there's actually a big science behind this, is because having a cloth which is a little heavier on the left hand side versus the right helps balance the energy centers which are there. The Vedic system that we've had has always been about more an inner journey and looking within and seeing how we can improve and grow ourselves. And at many times that does mean choosing things that may or may not be the best from a sensory perception, because sensory is just external, but is absolutely the best thing for us to grow and experience life into its fullest. Now, you could eat the tastiest of burgers and pizzas, etc., and feel that, oh wow, you've had a great meal. But that doesn't mean it's giving you prana or pranic energy, the life energy that's helping you move forward. Now, instead, you could have more sattvic food where, yes, the tastes may not be as varied or as intense or as, uh, you know, subtle, which appeals to your senses or to the tongue. But at an overall level, it gives you a lot more energy and makes you feel a lot more healthy. And truly, it's not just makes you feel, but you actually are much more healthy and living a much better life, living a more conscious life. Living a much better life where you don't have to deal with the cancer and all the craziness that happens in old age or all the debilitating diseases, but leading powerful lives. What would you pick? Would you pick the one that is giving you maybe a more immediate sensory pleasure like taste? Or would you pick something that's actually adding to your life and helping you create a much better life for yourself? It's a big debate, and it's an important one for all of us to actually look at it. I'm not saying that everything that appeals to our senses is necessarily bad for us, but are we doing, is it being given to us in the right context? Another big example that comes up today is the pharmaceutical industry. But it is an industry. It's not done with the context of actually helping us feel better and actually helping us live better lives. In the Vedic system, for example, when you had a doctor uh, in the villages, he would be paid as a portion of the produce that the farmers produced would go to the doctor. Now, his incentive was very much based that he would get more if the farmers were healthy and producing more, right? So it was in his best interest also. The whole system was set up to incent him to make sure that the people around him are healthy, because at the end of the day, he would be benefited as well at the end from people being healthy. But today, does a doctor get paid when we're healthy? Not really. All the doctors would only get paid if we are unwell. So the system by itself is built in such a way that it is incented to keep us unhealthy. Now, I'm not saying there are doctors purposely doing that, but if you understand just how the whole process works, obviously there's a big fault in that entire system and belief system, which makes we can get to see why there's so many more diseases, what you call modern day lifestyle diseases, which are causing so much havoc in our lives. Fundamentally, we need to relook at these questions that are very, very critical. Uh, Other topics like education, I've spoken about it in other videos, and I'll probably talk more about it in the coming videos as well. But what the education system is about, what the food system we have, the medical system we have, the clothing system we have, the all of those, when you try and take a look at what they're really trying to satisfy, these fundamental questions can actually completely change how we look at life. Now, for me, all of this understanding, or to whatever extent I've understood it and living it, has happened thanks to Paramahansa Nityananda Swamiji, who very deeply gives us this understanding, gives us the experience, gives us the knowledge so that we can realize it for ourselves and lead much, much better and powerful lives. And it's not just of leading a better life, as I'm more healthy and I'm living a longer life, but powerful lives where we can do things that we'd consider impossible. That's what the highest possibility is. I'll share much more on these Shaktis and powers that Swamiji is initiating us into, but I do want to leave you with this thought. If you had a choice, what would you choose? Would it be right, or would you choose something that's pleasant? So let me know your thoughts and questions. Love to answer, have a dialogue. Look forward to hearing from you. Hope you're doing well. Take care. Nityananda.